or may not know, we have two softwares, our Exact Software of Excellence product, and we have Dentally, which is our cloud solution. So you're in really good hands. And today we're going to be talking about what high performing clinics do differently with their software. So this webinar is not going to really be about features for the sake of features. It's going to be about reducing friction, saving time, and creating a better experience for not only yourself, your team, but of course, your patients. So I speak to practices all the time. A lot of them that are excellent clinically, but operationally, they are being slowed down by their own tools around them. And when I say tool, I use that word very intentionally. The best performing clinics, they treat their software as a tool, not just as an admin system. So if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this call, is that the software that you are using, whether it's Exact, whether it's Dentally, it's a tool. And it, as you already know, because you've got plenty of tools at your disposal, it's how you use that tool, which could absolutely transform your business. So that being said, what are the tools that you have? When it comes to software, Henry Schein, we have two sets of tools that you can use. One is Exact that you're currently using, and then we have Dentally. And this isn't about saying that one tool is better than the other, by the way, because both tools are absolutely brilliant. In fact, Exact was built brilliantly for its time. And as you may or may not know, Exact has been around for over 30 years. It was designed for a different era, and we can see the growth and the change that the world has experienced and how technology has grown and evolved and changed. You can see that Exact is from a different time. And I like to use analogies, so I'm going to use an analogy to explain what Exact is and Dentally. One of the analogies that I want to use is a manual diesel versus an electric car. And it's really applicable for me in my life as well, because I'm just about to get going in electric. And the principles are actually the same, or very similar at least, because you have Exact, which is like your old school manual reliable car, but it needs more maintenance, it needs more input from you. You need to, pay for the car, then you pay for insurance separately, you need tire replacement, all of these things. And I can speak from experience because right now, I'll give you an actual real life example. I'm paying for a car, I'm paying for insurance, I'm paying separately for all of these things that add up. There's a lot of hidden costs that I wasn't really aware of, or I didn't think about when I signed up to getting this car on a monthly. But I've got to think about these things and petrol, and these prices fluctuate. So the price of petrol is really crazy at the moment. The same with hardware in this space. The price of computers and hardware servers are going up and down, well, just up, they're not actually going down. When you have an electric car, it's software led. So I've got an agreement with a car that I've just purchased on a monthly. It includes insurance, it includes everything, all of the hidden costs. There's none of that there. It's all a nice package, predictable pricing structure. It's smoother, it's self-updating. The technology in there, it's designed differently from the ground up. There's so much more that I can do in that electric car, CarPlay, it's self-driving. It's a night and day difference. So another a quick analogy that I'll give just to kind of explain fundamentally what are the tools that you have at your disposal. It's kind of like having a DVD player. You need your DVDs and your DVD player, and you need all the wires that connects to your TV. You want to have the right TV to make the most of the DVD player. And there's just a lot that you have to deal with. Or you can hire an IT person or a TV person that can do everything for you. Or you just get Netflix and you can watch Netflix wherever you are around the world as long as you have an internet connection. And principally it's the same when it comes to Dentally. All you need is an internet connection. It doesn't matter what laptop or computer you use. You don't need certain things to make your software run. Whereas with Exact, you need a certain spec PC to run your software, because Exact is quite a demanding software, whereas Dentally, even though it's capable of doing a lot more, it's streamlined, it's on the cloud, which means you can use it. Doesn't matter what hardware you're using, whether it's an iPad, laptop, etc., etc. So now that we know what tools that we do have, what can we do with this tool, specifically with Dentally? So one thing that I think is really important to think about is the numbers. So just skipped ahead. We have plenty of tools that will automate and reduce manual tasks so that you can focus on growing your practice. One of the tools that I want to talk about is AI Clinical Notes, where instead of spending ages typing up your notes, you just dictate and it contextualizes everything for you. It's medically term trained. It's a medically certified tool. So, it's good to go as soon as you get it. And what the numbers have told us is, on average, saving 15 minutes per day per clinician when using clinical AI notes. And I can talk anecdotally. I've had practice owners tell me, there was one practice owner that was telling me how one of their clinicians would spend an hour a day typing up their notes after work, but still at the practice when they had a newborn baby at home. And then after leveraging a tool like this, they're going home on time. And for me, I think that's absolutely wonderful. I know how it feels. I've got a baby at home. So tools like this are an absolutely big game changer, not just from a work-life balance perspective, but these small operational gaps, they can compound over time. That 15 minutes per clinician per day adds up significantly across the month. So that doesn't just mean less admin and less end of the day catch ups. It actually means more time for your patients, more patients in on the chairs, growing your business, and less time doing manual tasks, more time spent doing the things that you want to do. So another thing to think about, another tool that you can use, you already actually have this tool on Exact, and it'll be an interesting exercise for you to kind of think, are you using your short notice filler as intentional and as frequent as you can? Are you incorporating that into your workflow as efficiently as you can? Because it is available on Exact, but most practices that I speak with tell me that they either don't know it exists or they're not using it anywhere near as much as they could. Whereas Dentally, the way that we have it set up, this is a feature that we've actually only recently rolled out, and it's proven to be really successful. Again, we've built Dentally to be really easy to use from the ground up. Every time your receptionist creates a new appointment, you can add that patient into the short notice list. It's really easy to do. In fact, there was this one practice with about 4 or 5 surgeries, if I remember correctly. They were part of our beta program. When we put this feature out, the short notice feature out in beta, and we reached out to this particular practice, we didn't give them any training. We just said, you want to use this feature and let us know how you get on. With no training, they spent only about an extra £100 on SMS, and they had 50 appointments booked in that 1 month. So just ask yourself this question. What would 50 appointments look like to you in terms of revenue? How much money does that look like? And for £100 investment, is that a worthwhile return on investment? And I can guarantee the answer is yes. Another thing to think about is the capacity. A couple of questions to ask yourself is, are you actually making the most of all of the tools available to you, such as the online booking feature, which is available on Exact, but on Dentally, it's a lot easier to use. It's a lot slicker. There's a lot more that you can do on there. Have you automated the messaging that goes out to patients? And if you can increase the recall effectiveness, how much money does that look like? So the average recall effectiveness is about 65% when looking at online booking and recall automation. But then the average recall effectiveness when using online booking, when it comes to best practice, shoots up to over 90%. So that difference, what does that difference look like to you from a commercial financial perspective? And this is just not doing anything drastically different, just using the same tools, but using it more intentionally. So this is where it actually becomes really practical. This slide kind of demonstrates a patient journey, and a patient journey can be improved, not only during the appointment, but before and after the appointment as well. And this kind of demonstrates how that would look like on Dentally. Before the visit, patient can book in online. That online booking syncs up to your calendar on Dentally, and that patient will get a text message asking to confirm their appointment, at which they will confirm, say, yes, I've confirmed. That will update Dentally on the software to tell you that this patient has not only booked, but they've actually confirmed. And they'll continue to get reminders closer to the day of the appointment. And on their phone, they can access their medical history, they can update their medical history, they can pay deposits, they can view treatment plans, consent, etc., etc. And during the visit, when they come into the practice, instead of speaking to the receptionist, they can actually check in digitally. You can have a kiosk stand, you can have a tablet there, whether it be an Android tablet or an iPad, it doesn't really matter. And they can self-identify by putting in the date of birth or their phone number, and they check in. And they sit down, and the clinician can see which patients have checked in and are in the waiting room. And then you can call them in. So I don't know if you realized or if you thought about this, but the patient has booked online. They've confirmed, they've received reminders, they have updated the medical history, they have paid for a deposit, they have checked in, they have sat down, and they are about to go see their clinician. And during this whole time, they've not spoken to anyone. The receptionist hasn't picked up the phone. There's no manual input on your end. This is all happening automatically. And you can imagine how this can scale infinitely, theoretically. So during the visit, when the patient walks into the practice, into the surgery itself, the clinician, they'll do their magic and do what they need to do. During the appointment, a feature that we're actually actively rolling out right now, and it'll be live this year, is our AI ambient listening tool. So what would happen this year is patient's going to walk in, the AI is listening to everything that's going on, contextualizes it. When they walk out, all of the notes, they're all done, everything's ready, and the practitioner hasn't done anything. What they can do right now is patient's going to walk in, you have your appointment, they walk out, instead of typing up your notes, spending an hour, you will literally save 70% of your time by doing the AI ambient, the AI clinical notes. So you can see how that also further enhances the whole patient journey. It smooths things up, it saves you time. And then even after the visit, patient's going to leave. The recall has already been booked in. They're going to get customized post-care. Let's say it's a root canal, specific customized post-care for that, automated follow-ups, and even targeted marketing that you can do. So the point is not to make the end-to-end journey robotic. It's to automate all of the repetitive parts so that the human interactions can feel much more better and more organic. And this is what scalability looks like. It's automated, it's personalized, and it's consistent. Automation doesn't remove the human touch. It simply just makes more room for it. So what you should really ask yourself these questions. The question is not just what software do we have? It's what is this software allowing our business to do? And these are the kind of questions that high-performing clinics, they find out the answer to these questions. They really focus on these questions. How many admin hours are you losing every single week? Really spend some time after this call and think about it. How many, how easy is your onboarding? If you were to hire a new member of staff, how easy is it for them to learn the software that you're currently using versus a software that has been built to be easy to use? Something that you have to bear in mind is over 30 years ago, when they were making any piece of software, anything, they didn't think about human behavior, psychology, colors, intuition, how easy things are to use and to integrate. We've had over 30 years of experience as collectively, not only within dentistry, but just collectively around the world, all this knowledge and experience and how we can apply to optimizing software to make it easy to use, easy to learn, easy to understand, easy to implement. How quick can you get visibility? How easy is it to get visibility on your performance, on your reports? How exposed are you if your server goes down? It happens more often than not. So many times I've had customers reach out to me saying, my server's packed up, need to jump onto Dentally, and that's reactive. You need to be more proactive and make that move before something bad like that happens. And that doesn't even factor in all of the hidden costs of IT support and things like that. So if you wanted to grow another site as an example, or work more flexibly, if you wanted to check in and see how the practice is doing, maybe you're on holiday, you're traveling around, you have multiple sites, how easy is that to do? How easy is it to access your software? So the high-performing clinics, they don't tolerate friction. They actively are designing it out. So before I wrap up and sort of open it for any questions, I quickly wanted to tell you about Dentally Live, which is an event coming up this summer, Friday, the 26th of June. Why should you attend? It's a great opportunity for you to get practical insight as to how to overcome today's biggest challenges that you would face within the dental industry. You can learn more about what's coming next in the Dentally software, and then you can actually have an influence on the future of Dentally and essentially the future of your practice. So it's a great opportunity to explore all the different innovations that's going to absolutely transform the dental industry, looking at in more detail how these tools are going to reduce your admin and just improve your patient outcomes. So the details are there. We've got a QR code. Highly recommend just quickly take a picture of that. It will take you to our landing page. All the details there. And of course, you can reach out and ask me any questions or the team any questions if you have any questions about this live. But saying that, does anyone have any questions about this call, about the presentation, anything that you wasn't sure about? Don't be shy. There's not much of us online, so you don't need to have stage fright. Oh, I can see. 1 second. I think I need to unmute. Let me just stop sharing my screen. And sorry, 1 second. Sarah, how do I unmute everyone?
We've requested asked to unmute, but I think it's up to the participant whether they do.
Okay. Yeah.
But any questions can come in afterwards. If they reply to any of the emails about the webinar or reach out to you directly.
Yep. Any questions, feel free to ask now. If not, don't worry, you can always drop me an email. What I'll do is just to make things easier in the chat, I'm going to put my email and then you can just copy and paste that. So there's my email. I'll give it just another quick minute, just in case you have questions. I guess we have a really shy group of people. Yeah, I suppose I guess we'll just wrap it up from here then, I suppose. So thank you to everyone that has attended the call. I hope this was I hope this was helpful. Like I said, the main sort of key takeaway that I would like you to have is the idea that Dentally or any software you use isn't just an admin tool. It's an actual tool to help you do much more than that. It's a tool to transform your business. So, really think about how can I use this to scale, to grow my business, or to meet any goals that I've set myself, not only for yourself personally as an owner or a practice manager, but also as a business as well. So thank you for listening on the call. I'm going to just end this call now, and hopefully I will hear from you guys really soon. Thank you, and have a great day, guys.